foremost, one of the things that drives our work the most is something we call the 51 people. That was research done by an historian in our work named Jack Pealer from southwestern Ohio. And Jack asked 51 people with a label of disability in 1992. He asked them a simple question: who is in your life? And what he found was that on average the 51 people had about 8 family members in their lives. On average they had about 25 paid human service professionals, and on average they had 2 friends without disabilities and 3 other citizens without disabilities. These would be people like neighbors or mailmen. And then on average they had about 68 other people with disabilities in their lives. So when we look at that research from 1992, and then we look at it 20 years later in 2012, we take this picture out to families and we say, does this look like your son or daughter's life? And they nod their head and they say, yes, it still does. So 20 years later, we are still getting the same results with lives that are filled with other people with disabilities and paid human service professionals. So we ask the second question, which is, does that look like a life that anyone else has? And when we think about that same chart again, we would say, yeah, sure, we have family members in our lives. We have 8 to 10 to 12, who knows? We have paid people in our lives too, but the difference is that in the lives of a person with a label of disability, the paid people exert a lot of control. Whereas in my life, and most people's lives I know, the people I pay, my doctors, my accountants, my lawyers, my hairdresser, and landscaper, those people I can fire and hire at will. So I have power over them. So there's a different kind of dynamic going on. The most crucial sector of that graph is the south quadrant, which is people, friends, and other citizens without disabilities. And for me and most people that I know, it's just filled with hundreds and hundreds of people. Lots of diverse people that are either really good friends, friends that are not so close but still friends, people that I went to high school and college with, people that I go to church with, neighbors and other citizens, or people that I know that could be friends. And then the final sector of that graph, for most people, it doesn't even look like anything to us. We couldn't even fathom what this means, but it's a picture of segregation. And it's segregation based on the circumstances of the way that our system tries to support people through group homes and workshops and separate programs specifically for people with disabilities. So the only important thing that we care about from here until kingdom come is to stop contributing to the chart that has paid people and people with disabilities in their lives, and start contributing to the parts of the chart that help support families and other citizens and friends without disabilities, so that people's disability doesn't define their life. A life defined by its disability is full of people on the east and west of this chart, and a life defined by gifts and associations and joy and freedom is defined by lots of people in the north and south parts of the graph. So we find it a very powerful tool, and we're so excited to be able to start to get to work on something that we think is really, really, really important.